I hate it for the kid, I really do. I was rooting for him. I was wishing him the best of luck. And I know a lot of people aren't going to want to believe this or hear it, but it's the truth. It's reality. His career's over. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great week. Hope all of you having a great Tuesday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got to talk about not one, but two quarterbacks, Cam Ward and Anthony Richardson. The main topic, though, and it's not even close, it's definitely Richardson. How do I say this nicely? His career's already over. We're going to talk all about that, but also, I've had quite a bit of people sending this to me. Cam Ward, he got in a fight at practice. What? The #1 overall pick? And yes, and you won't even believe who it was with. Not an opposing team, but one of his teammates. Little disclaimer warning, I still haven't fully regained my voice. It's starting to come back, but not all the way, so you're just going to have to bear with me, and I do apologize for that. Without further ado, let's get into it. And since this is a minor topic, let's get it out the way. What in the world is going on with Cam Ward? According to some reports, apparently Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons, which is a defensive lineman, they got into a quote-unquote heated scuffle. It is also being said, I'm going to read this off word for word, it turned physical after Ward shoved Simmons following a touchdown pass. What about that? I'm going to continue to read this off word for word so you know exactly what went down, because this is some interesting stuff. Ward threw a touchdown pass to Calvin Ridley toward the end of practice and went to celebrate. The rookie quarterback stopped and gave Simmons a shove before doing his trademark quote-unquote Zombieland celebration in front of him. If you don't know what the Zombieland celebration is, just type in Cam Ward celebration at Miami. It's where he sticks his hand out. Simmons then reacted with a two-hand push towards face mask, and the offensive line ran towards defense, and there was some pushing and shoving going back and forth. You know how it goes. I'm going to keep it a Fortnite V-Buck with all of you. This is a nothing burger. Let me explain why. If you are either A, currently an athlete, or B, a former athlete, you know this happens dang near every single day, at least if you played on a competitive team. I'll tell you firsthand experience, White Randy back in the day, if you were to throw a touchdown on White Randy's noggin, run up to him and celebrate in front of his face, yeah, you're most definitely getting pushed, shoved, something along those lines. I can't speak for you, Timothy and Bobby, watching this video, but most athletes, if you have a competitive bone in your body, is not going to allow somebody to celebrate right in front of their face, especially in practice. I'm not saying you got to uppercut the guy or RKO him, but you're at least going to push him away. That's what happened here, and you also got to take into account these are professional athletes. Why do I bring that up, you may ask? Because number one, they're grown men, and number two, they're not really going to care about the consequences as much as like a college athlete. Maybe some of y'all feel differently, but I'm telling you, this is nothing to even talk about. It shouldn't even be a storyline. This happens every day. The only reason I guess it is a storyline is because it involves your franchise quarterback and also the #1 overall pick. Getting that out the way though, moving along here to the main topic, the main encore, main reason you clicked onto this video. What in the world's going on with Anthony Richardson? I'll tell you what's going on, my friend. Short answer, I don't know how to sugarcoat this, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. His career's over, but I will give you the long answer because it wouldn't be much of a video if we ended it off here. I already know you got Bobby in the comment section. Matt, what do you mean his career's over? He just got drafted. Dude, his career's over. It ended before it started, but let me give you some context. Earlier this morning, Adam Schefter tweeted out this, and it dang near has 10 million views. A quarterback decision in Indy. Colts named Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback for September 7th, regular season opener versus the Miami Dolphins. I had a couple of you send this to me, by the way. If there's anything going on in the sports world, feel free to send it to us on Twitter. It really helps on the channel tremendously. But like I was saying, when I first saw this, it did kind of shock me, but not really. I'll put it to you like this. It only shocked me because although I have never been high on Anthony Richardson, and I've made that clear on this channel, I made a video a couple weeks ago saying he will never be a starter in the NFL, a legit starter at that. One thing has always been true. The Colts have been high on him. There's a reason they selected him in the top 5. I didn't understand it back then. I have no idea why they drafted him as high as they did, but for some odd reason, they liked him. My point is, although me and other people out there have never understood the Richardson hype, I'm not saying he doesn't have potential. He has a ton of potential, maybe more than anybody else in this league. Reminds me of Elijah Milroe. But the Colts, they've loved him and they've had his back. That right there is what shocked me because I didn't think they were going to, I guess I'd say, turn on him this quickly. And this is what put the nail in the coffin, this next report I'm going to show you, because at first glance you're like, well, Matt, it's not a big deal. Daniel Jones, he also sucks. He may go out there in the first couple of weeks, throw 2 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and bada bing, bada boom, Anthony Richardson is back as a starting quarterback. And you're 100% right, but here's the kicker. Adam Schefter then tweeted out this: Colts head coach is not planning for this to be a short-term arrangement for Daniel Jones. And I quote, he's a starting quarterback for the season. Let me say that again. He's the starting quarterback for the season. I don't want to have a short leash on that. Whew. Interesting. Very interesting, to say the least. Y'all see this, right? He's a starting quarterback for the season. It's like they're throwing Anthony Richardson away like Woody from Toy Story. What's even funnier about this is Daniel Jones is terrible. He sucks. That then leads me into my next question. If Daniel freaking Jones is your starting quarterback, just how bad has Anthony Richardson been performing in practice? Because reminder, they have way more skin in the game with Richardson. This is a top 5 pick. Daniel Jones is a guy they got for a Gatorade vending machine and a $100 bill. I can't harp on this enough. Richardson is supposed to be the guy, the franchise quarterback. He wasn't some late first-round pick. No, top 5 pick. And you are benching him for Daniel Jones. With all due respect. And it's not me trying to disrespect and throw shots at Daniel Jones. This is more so about Anthony Richardson, the fact you can't beat this guy out. And the Colts have finally come to the conclusion. I could have told them this years ago if they would have hired me. Yeah, Anthony Richardson isn't as good as you think he is. Y'all can sit up here all you want, call me all these crazy names. You can joke on me, say Matt doesn't know ball, yada, yada, yada. But there's one thing I know, and it's evaluating quarterbacks and head coaches. And here's my question to you guys. If Matt doesn't know ball, what do y'all have to say about the Colts? Because they most certainly don't know ball. Anybody that knows a lick about sports would have told you not to draft Anthony Richardson in the top 5. Hey, not even the first round. We're talking about the top 5. And for this example right here alone, it's why I refuse to draft guys based solely off of potential and potential only. And that's what they were going off of when it comes to evaluating Richardson. I will be the first person to tell you Richardson, all the potential in the world. But if I'm drafting in the top 5, I need a guy who can play right now, not in 3 to 4 years at the quarterback position. You know what would have been the perfect spot to take Anthony Richardson? The same place where Milroe from Alabama went this year, somewhere in the 3rd round. That way you have an athletic freak on your team that maybe can reach his potential, but if he doesn't and he doesn't become the franchise quarterback, you go, well, it's not a big deal. We drafted him in the 3rd or 4th round. What is a big deal is when you have a situation like this where your top 5 pick can't even win the starting quarterback job. We're not even talking about playing good in the season. He can't even get on the field. And what makes all of it even worse, may I remind some of y'all, because I was keeping up with Richardson dating back to his high school glory days, the kid barely even played at Florida. I think he only started, 14 games or something like that. He didn't have a lot of experience at all. His highlights were amazing at Florida, but good gosh almighty, he had as many lowlights as highlights, and that's not what you want with a franchise quarterback. You want someone who is consistent. For me personally, when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks, I tend to veer away from guys who aren't accurate passers. I don't fall in love with the big arm guys like Joe Milton from Tennessee and, for example, Anthony Richardson. I don't care how far he can throw a football, because how many times in the NFL are you going to be asked to throw a 70, 75-yard pass? Maybe 2 times a season. That's always one of the most irrelevant and overhyped things to me. What I care about are the little things, and it's what Tom Brady was great at. Managing the game, risk management, which it goes hand in hand, but also accuracy. And you want to know where Anthony Richardson struggles the most? Those things I just said. Terrible risk management. He's not a good game manager, and he's not accurate at all. I hate it for the kid. I really do. I was rooting for him. I was wishing him the best of luck. And I know a lot of people aren't going to want to believe this or hear it, but it's the truth. It's reality. His career's over. Let me show you this video of Anthony Richardson where he was asked about how he felt about Daniel Jones being named the starting quarterback. This is from Kevin Bowen on Twitter. Shout out to him. Matt wrote a clip.
You got to respect the decision. They feel like he's a better fit for the team, better fit for the outcome of us winning. So you just got to respect it and just keep working. That doesn't undermine any other work I've been putting in. Doesn't say that I haven't improved. I'm proud of the improvement I've made. Shane is also proud of that. So you just got to keep stacking on that and just keep getting better.
Great words from Richardson. He's a well-spoken individual. I'll clap it up to him for that. But keep in mind, I'm not degrading his character or anything. I'm just talking about his abilities on the football field. That's my job. When it comes to him outside of football, I think he's an outstanding individual, and that is the main reason as to why he got drafted as high as he did. Great guy to have in your locker room, great guy to have on your team. No off-the-field problems whatsoever. He's just not good at throwing the football. I saw this meme going around. It was like, oh, Anthony Richardson He's an athletic specimen, has a rocket launcher of an arm. Nobody can tackle him one-on-one. He's one of the greatest athletes to ever play the quarterback position. And this other guy was like, okay, well, what's his flaw? The guy saying all that other stuff was like, oh, well, they invented the forward pass in 1920. And I know it's a joke and whatnot, but on a serious note, that is his one flaw, the forward pass. Seriously, if the forward pass was never invented, Anthony Richardson would arguably be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But sadly, it was invented, and he has no future in the NFL. He never really did, but yeah. Now it's over. And when I say no future, let me clarify. I'm talking about he won't be a franchise guy. He will never start for multiple seasons, stuff like that. I think at best he could be a really decent bridge quarterback and a backup quarterback in this league, but nothing more. I hate it for him, but that is the truth. There's many more things I could say. We're going to end out this video here. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below, but